going to the stuff. Photos. All right, everybody. Photo share and discussion number 207, the post-Irma edition, live with the internet, finally, after a few days. Got Wes down there in Gainesville, who got hit probably harder than we did here in Atlanta, but we had some pretty good, we had a decent impact up here. We were on the, I guess it was, what would that be, the northeast side, because the storm came up. Didn't it go right pretty much just to the west of you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit west, but yeah.
Okay.
We did get a little bit in the eye.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So what time did it come through there? Was it like Sunday night?
Yeah, it was late. Sunday night, Monday morning, early,
okay.
Kind of thing.
All right. Yeah.
In the middle of the night when it's worse.
Yeah, exactly.
And the power goes out and you can't really see anything, so you're just waiting for something to fall. And
yeah. I know we were. It hit us. They were saying it's going to come through, Atlanta, like, noon, 1, 2 o'clock, and sure enough, I mean, I got up and I was working away Monday morning, frantically trying to get all my stuff done, figuring that the power is going to be out for a little bit. So I got a lot of stuff done. Pam got home from work a little early, and sure enough, right at 2 o'clock, bam! The wind picked up. We had a couple real strong gusts, and then the power went out. And there was just some big trees that fell, knocked out the power. Our power is buried, but just in our neighborhood. So some of the surrounding neighborhoods are the power's up on poles, and if the right one gets knocked down, and we go out. And yeah, we just sat there all afternoon and just watched the trees sway back and forth, and we both had our fingers crossed, going, oh no, because we've got a couple big trees. If they fall the wrong way, then yeah, we're not good. So yeah, but we made it all the way through, and the wind pretty much, I guess, died down by like 7 o'clock the next morning. We had about maybe 15 hours of wind and that type of stuff. And we didn't get any. We had some branches, dead branches fall from some of our trees, but we didn't have any big limbs come off any of the trees. So just a lot of crap in the yard and that type of stuff. But there were a lot of trees around us that did fall, and a lot of roads blocked by that. We didn't get a lot of rain, but the wind took down a lot of trees. And we had 3 people die in the area from trees falling on their house, and then one lady was in her driveway and a tree fell and crushed her in her car. So just kind of freaky how that happens. But yeah, when did we get back? We got power back like Wednesday, almost, early afternoon on Wednesday, so almost 2 days. But the internet and cable and internet, at least for Comcast, didn't come back on until Thursday afternoon. I guess AT&T was up a little faster. So
yeah,
but it was so you guys, I guess you had internet probably out for you a little longer than the power was out, probably.
No, the internet came back when the power came back. It was probably, it's DSL. That's the nice thing about DSL, is it's a lot more robust than cable.
Mm-hmm.
I find.
Yeah.
So I just don't have it on a battery backup. So it probably would have worked.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it is going through copper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
when we had Hurricane Charlie, I had internet with no power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I did have a battery backup then on it. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's true. I guess, DSL is, it's not as much amplification along the way. It doesn't need as much power to keep things moving forward as cable, or I guess fiber even, really needs. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, so people in the area that had AT&T, high-speed DSL, were back up, within an hour or two, it seemed like, I guess. But cable took almost 3 days, so it was a little frustrating. But all in all, I mean, it's kind of really sad how spoiled we are with having electricity and internet and all that. It was,
you don't think about it till it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. My friend has a 13-year-old daughter, and he said, yeah, my daughter was sitting there going, Daddy, I can't believe how slow the internet is on my smartphone. The power's out. He's like, wait a minute. You know what you just said? And she had no idea. And he's like, this internet on the phone thing hasn't been around as long as you have.
Yeah.
So cry me a river, he said, basically.
Right.
It's like, you don't understand, overly dramatic teenager, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of a challenge. Yeah, from a work standpoint, I ended up, of course, the Starbucks and the library and that all had internet, so I just went there for the 2 days and used their stuff to get my work done. But it still wasn't as efficient because I didn't have 2 monitors. I was just working off my laptop. But yeah, we got things back, and hopefully we don't have anything for a while. Although it looks like there's another one out there that might be heading our direction.
Got one coming our way, maybe, but we'll see.
Another angry woman, Maria. I think, isn't that what they called it? Yeah. So we had Irma. Yeah. Irma got mad at us, and now we got Maria coming after us. So who knows? But
Jose's just spinning around in a circle out there.
I think it's going to go north and then back east, I guess, is what they're thinking. But go back east before it gets close enough to land to do anything, I guess. But never know. It's been pretty active season. So not much in the beginning, but it's finishing up with a bang, I guess. I don't know if that's not necessarily a good thing. But so did you get any photography in this week? Did you get out and get some of the images of downed trees and all that stuff?
Yeah, I took a few things, but it's just a fallen over tree. It's not that interesting, really.
Yeah. I thought maybe get out and do some people photography. I thought about it, but I couldn't find people clearing trees or working on the line, that type of stuff, and I just didn't see anything local.
I didn't really want to drive anywhere because there wasn't any gas all week, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We were okay on that, but yeah, there were a lot of side streets and stuff that were blocked for at least a day or so, just because of fallen trees or power lines, that type of thing. So I thought about it, but then I just decided, well, I charged up my tablet before, and so I had enough juice in that to do a lot of reading, and and a battery pack, and then when that ran out, I just plugged it into the car and recharged stuff. And did that way. So I just caught up on a lot of reading. There's a lot of stuff I've been wanting to read, and it was actually kind of nice. Quiet. You couldn't have the TV on.
Right.
We had the radio on a little bit, but most of the time we just sat and read. And I was like, this is kind of nice, actually. So I just took the opportunity to catch up on that. But now everything's back online, and I don't need to read anymore. I can just go and surf the web. Yeah. I no photography at all. Although I did managed to develop the sheets from our trip, and I actually just brought them back. I haven't done anything with them. I'm going to try to scan them in this coming weekend, I guess. But I got something on I got some stuff on. These are the 2 images of the mausoleum, as Dennis calls it. So it looks like those look to be okay. One with a filter and one without. And then I'm kind of I don't know. We'll see. And these other 2 are just taken at our friend's house. He's got a birdhouse in his backyard. It kind of backs up against a lake, and that one looks decent. And then this one, I don't know. I think it's a little underexposed. It is. They back up against a golf course, and I was like, well, I got one more sheet, and I want to get a picture, just a picture of, image of something. And the golf course was kind of interesting. Had some waves and a bunker and that type of thing. And so I was getting it going, and then the golf court, the dude comes out on the lawnmower, and he's like cutting. I'm like, I got to get this thing done before it gets in the image. So I think I might have, I rushed it a little bit maybe, but I didn't want to take it with him in it. So,
Yeah.
We'll see. I might be able to correct it once I get it scanned. I mean, that's a good thing about film, especially black and white. You got so much latitude with it. But so hopefully I'll get that. I thought I could get in yesterday, but it was just too busy. I spent too much time catching up. So hopefully next Saturday I can get that scanned in. It looks like maybe I got 1 or 2. Yeah, 2 out of the 4 will be good, I think. So that's pretty decent, I guess. But
that's good.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. No equipment, no purchases or anything this week.
No equipment, but I did get one thing photography related, I guess. I know you said you've followed Thomas Heaton on YouTube before.
Yeah.
Well, so he did a calendar last year, but
okay.
picked up his calendar this year. I didn't buy it last year, but went ahead and bought it this year. So, if you've watched his shows and seen him do shows about a particular, because he usually only does 1 or 2 photos.
He does a whole thing, and it just takes him. Yeah, he just ends up with 1 image. Yeah. Okay. So, very nice.
It's cool to see these photos, and I've watched all the videos and seen where how he made them and everything. So that'll be a cool calendar to have.
Is that a 2018 calendar then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that seems well. I guess not. We're in the fall. I mean, I guess that's when calendars come out. But yeah.
He autographed the first batch, so I get autographed.
Sweet.
One.
Very nice. So you just ordered that directly from his website then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have to check that out. Yeah, I've watched some of his stuff. I haven't watched all of his videos, but the ones I have watched have been interesting. I mean, he does a good job of kind of building the story around getting the shot, and everything that goes into it, and that's interesting. That's a neat part because it doesn't the image oftentimes, especially for film or large format, the image is only half the story. It seems like, there's all the other stuff that you go through. Almost any photography, really. I mean, if you really are going out and trying to get a specific shot or going to a specific location, it's almost more about the story of getting the image than it is the image itself. It seems like. So, cool. I'll check out his website. I've watched some of his videos. I haven't watched them all, but like I said, the ones I have watched have been pretty cool. So let's see. Is it reasonably priced? Reasonably priced.
It was around $30, I think, which coming from the UK, it's not bad.
No, that's. I was figuring it was gonna be somewhere like $50 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think it was a little less this year. I think last year was a little more expensive, but maybe the exchange rate was worse last year.
Okay. Yeah. 24 pounds basically. It looks like. Okay. Yeah. 400, 200. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty decent size then. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's I'm thinking of what's his name? Ben Horn, large format photographer. I think he does I think he's going to do a calendar this year too. I think.
Probably.
Either that or a coffee table book. So that would be interesting. But yeah, he's most of the Western LA and that type of thing, which is interesting because I've been to him, but he does a much better job of capturing the images there than I do. Very good. Okay, so galleries. I'm gonna have to check that out, but I think it might make sense to get a calendar, something like that. And I think I don't know. I've got to check out Simi's site. I mean, he's been posting so many good images. I think that might be
You should do something like a calendar or a book or something.
Oh, he's got so much. He could do he could do Madison County. What is it? Madison, Connecticut coffee table book. With all the shots he has just in that little area. Hopefully he is. I mean, he hasn't been on a show in a while, but he keeps posting images. So I'm assuming he's just been busy with work and everything. So speaking of somebody that's not busy with work, we have Dennis.
Hey, Bob.
How are you?
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah, fine. Like you say, luxury.
Yes. Yeah, we were just reminiscing about the angry female hurricane that came through our area earlier in the week. So
yeah, it lost a bit of its power, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately for all involved, but it did quite a job on the outer islands into Keys. I mean, it pretty much took down most of the Keys, and especially the Barbuda. Those islands out there just got decimated by it. But once it hit land, it broke. It was still a big, massive storm. Did a lot of damage, but it could have been a lot worse. That's for sure. So we've got another one spinning away in the Caribbean right now. So we'll see how that transpires over the next week or so. So that's always,
exceptional winds when they get to 200 mile an hour. That's inconceivable in this country anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a lot of damage. I mean, we had the remains of Irma when it came through here. We're doing, I don't know, sustained winds of 30 to 50 with gusts, 50 to 60, and that took down. I mean, just that took down a lot of stuff here. But the trees and stuff they're not used to winds like that. I mean, that's probably the biggest wind they've had here in Atlanta in 40 years. You know, it's outside of a few quick downdraft blasts, like during a thunderstorm or something like that. But as far as sustained winds, yeah, that's about as bad as they've had it here, and it took down a lot of tree lines and that type of stuff. So I could only imagine 200. Not anything I want, that's for sure.
Yeah, 200 is going to take the roof off your house. It's got to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, unless you've got a cement bunker, you know, you're having a lot of destruction. That's for sure. So we were just discussing. I don't know if you saw before you logged on, Dennis. I did get the negatives developed of the sheets I did when we were on out of town a couple weeks ago. So. Hopefully get those scanned in here this next week, and looks like 2 or 3 out of the 4 are pretty good. It looks like one of them is way underexposed, but we'll find out, I guess. Did you get any photography in this week, Dennis? Anything?
No, not really. I went to a place where they do these model steam trains, you know, but
okay.
they were the larger size. They were 7 1/4 inch rails, and they were like towing 10 people around.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So what size do you have? What size are the ones you use? Because you do the steam trains, right? But
yeah,
much smaller ones.
I've got called Gauge 1. They run on a 45mm track. You can't ride on them. They're basically radio controlled.
Okay. All right.
So these others are they've got to be like scaled down version of real steam engines. You know, they've got axle pumps. You put coal in the thing and fire it up. You know.
Wow, that's those. And yours. I mean, your scale is fairly expensive. I gotta imagine those are just off the charts. It's like buying your own train, basically. I mean.
Yeah. You're probably a 7 1/4 inch train probably put you back 25 grand. Yeah, just
it's like buying a car. It's like buying a vehicle.
Yeah. They are really expensive. The ones I've got, if you buy Aston models, they're the Rolls Royce of the model trains. They can put you back probably 6,000 to 7,000.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's. You know, that's in. I mean, that's expensive, but that's kind of in line with what people will pay for. You know, people who collect guitars or people who are into photography. I mean, you know, people buy a $6,000-7,000 lens.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I've got an American Shay in my collection, which is a 3-cylinder Shay they use in the logging camps and the mines.
Okay.
Apparently, they'd run on really narrow gauge bad rails, but they would put in the logging sites and the mines. But it's quite a nice model, but I think you can get them probably $2 grand, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So they're stainless steel and they're brass, and you know they're well made stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you could get into the hobby for. Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a little bit. It's going to be more expensive than HO scale or something like that. But.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the rails you would put down in your garden. You know, you would fix up the tracks in the garden, so you just take the models out and use them outside with the radio control.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's interesting. It's so interesting for all these different hobbies and things that are people into whatever. And I've been involved in a lot of them over the years, and no matter what it is, there's like the basic, you know, you can get into the hobby for a reasonable price, almost all of them, but then the sky's the limit. You can just spend.
Yeah, it's like buying your Lomo cameras and then buying yourself a Leica.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you could get a very basic camera for a few dollars that'll work, or you can spend tens of thousands of dollars on a vintage Leica or something like that. And yeah, it was funny. I've got a friend who is not a photographer, but his dad was for a number of years. He did when he was, it was like 40, 50 years ago, when he was single, I guess, before he got married and had responsibilities. He was a he was a photographer. He did some like newspaper photography. And I was like, so what kind of cameras your dad? He goes, hey, he's got this thing, he's got these Leicas. I guess they last forever and they're really good cameras. I'm like, oh. I was like, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So your dad's my new best friend.
Yeah, I go to college with a guy, and when we was learning the Italian language, and he said to me just before the end of the last term closed that his friends has got Hasselblad, and would I be interested in it?
And you said, of course.
Of course I would. Yeah, I said, are they giving it away?
Oh, really?
Nah, he said it's been in the loft a few years, but I said, well, I'll have a look at it and see what it's.
Oh yeah, I would think if unless the camera has been beat on with a hammer or something else, you can probably get that clean, CLA'd or whatever they call it, get it clean, lubed, and adjusted, and have it work perfectly.
Yeah, the one thing what concerns me when he said it's been stored in the loft is the like fungus in the lenses and stuff like that. If it's all been up there,
Mm-hmm. But you can get a lens. Yeah, you could get a different lens for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's face it, the lens is the most expensive part.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Having to buy the lens, you might as well just buy a lens and then get the camera, then the camera body. It's
well, Hasselblad stuff isn't that expensive. A few $100s a piece,
A few $100 worth.
Yeah.
No, it can't be. My Bronica, when I bought the backs, the spare backs, they're between 50 and 100. But if you want a Hasselblad back, they're like 300, 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at KLH here just to see.
I've seen some on eBay for around $500-600 for a whole camera.
Oh, well, I've seen a whole Hasselblad camera, like 500, 501 CM, something like that, or a 503 CW, and they're like a couple of grand.
Yeah, I think it depends on how it's like the Rolleiflex or Rolleicords. I mean, there's like a low end that is still pretty good, but then the way the viewfinder is, and I don't know if it's is it the magnesium versus aluminum body, that type of thing. I think that makes a big difference. Yeah, but yeah, you can get a Hasselblad, an actual Hasselblad, for probably under $500. But it's maybe not the highest end one, I guess.
Right.
Might be. Yeah. I was just I was taking a look. I just went on KLH as you were talking. I'm going to take a look and see. Do a search by Hasselblad. Oh, they got 38 of them. That's a good site to go to. I try to go to them about once a month or so just to see what they have. And okay, so you were saying like a 5. Oh, well, see, here's a Hasselblad 203 FE chrome camera body for $2,000.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then we've got a 503 CW.
Yeah.
Camera body for $1,400.
Yeah, that's no lenses.
No, this is from. Yeah, these are just the bodies. Yeah. Is there a body? Okay, so here's a 555 ELD body for $750 in bargain shape.
That's a real old one, Mark. I think that's going right there.
Yeah. Here's the 503 CX, 572. That might be the one you were talking about, Dennis. It seems pretty reasonable. Here's a 500 CM, $380 to $600 depending on condition. But yeah, that's just the bodies. Then you got to do the lenses.
Yeah, the lenses are really expensive. Yeah.
Okay, here's a 1000, a 1000 F camera body for $200. And that's like but you've got to buy the hood. It's just got the glass, and you've got to buy a viewfinder and attach to it, I guess.
Yeah, if you look up an 80mm CF, the CEF lens, that's just basic, like equivalent to a 50mm on a 35mm camera. It's got to be 1500. That's a common lens. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to home and just take a look at lenses. But yeah, it's. I would definitely take a look at the camera. That's for sure. You never know. I mean, that's you can tell pretty easily if there's fungus or stuff in the lens by opening it up, opening up the aperture up and doing that type of thing. You can get a pretty good idea.
I'd hope to think that anyone who ever purchased a Hasselblad would not just stick it in a loft. It would be well protected. They just cost so much money.
Yep. So here they are. That's digital bodies. Yeah, Fujifilm. Mamiya. There's contacts lenses. Here's a 40mm f4 FLE lens for 500 series camera. It's $1,600.
Yeah.
And it's in very good shape. So yeah. You pay $1,500 for the body and $2,000 for the lens.
Yeah,
you're in for under $4,000.
Yeah, don't forget though, you got to get yourself a focusing for the top of the camera. That's true. Waist level finder. Then you've got to buy yourself a film back for it.
Okay, so now you're up to 5. Come on.
Yeah.
How committed are you to your art? I mean, that's bad.
The only thing will put me off, Mark. I kept reading these horror stories where if you put the lens on or take the lens off when the camera's cocked.
Okay.
Yeah, or if the camera's cocked and you put the lens on and the lens is not cocked, when you push the shutter button, it will shatter the rod what operates the lens, and it says, and then it's go see your bank manager.
Ooh, because all these are they're leaf shutters, right? Are they in the lenses?
And they're fully mechanical. Yeah, and there were stories about having to carry a special screwdriver to release when they lock up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like stories like that, So
yeah, that would suck. You find a good camera at a reasonable price, and then you forget that little quirk.
Yeah,
I was like, well, you just throw that in the junk bin now.
Yeah, I think it's something like, I don't know what way around it is. It's whether you put a cocked lens on an uncocked camera, or the camera mechanism's cocked and you put an uncocked lens on.
Oh,
then it tries to operate it, and it just shatters the rod what controls it. It will snap the driver rod.
Okay, yeah. Now that would be something you would want to make sure you understood exactly what the sequence was before.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I got it mixed up.
There's a sequence with the Bronica as well. You're not supposed to leave your lenses cocked if you're not using them. You're supposed to release the pressure off.
Okay. Yeah. Save the spring basically in the mechanism, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Because they're fired electronically with Bronicas, but that's fully mechanical.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Was it what day was it? Couldn't have been the day the power was out. What day was it? Maybe it was Sunday or Monday of last week. There was a thing on the History Channel, but they were talking about, no, it was National Geographic, and it was a kind of a thing on the Apollo missions. All the missions to the moon and all that, and they had, there's all kinds of different documentaries on that, but this had some interesting information, and they had a lot of footage of the astronauts training, and they had the little bracket with the Hasselblads on them, and training how to operate the cameras and do all of that. So that was interesting because I haven't seen that much footage with that, with them actually set up to learn how to use the camera and operate everything when they were in the spacesuit, I guess. So
of course, Mark, we know where there's a Hasselblad going free if you can get to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only 250,000 miles away.
That's right. Yeah, all you got to do is go out there and pick it up, and it's yours.
And it's probably been perfectly preserved. You know, you just hit it with with one of these rocket blowers or whatever, blow out some of the dust, and you're good to go.
Yeah, or that could have already been done when that big spaceship came through on Independence Day. That sort of caused quite a lot of stirring on the surface.
That's true. Yeah, the aliens might have already cleaned it for us. Yeah. No, that was interesting. They didn't really talk about the photography itself, but they did talk about the was it Apollo 8, which was the first one that they didn't land. They just went around the moon, and that was the first time that anybody had done that. And they were talking about that it was neat going around the moon, but the image, what's the image called? Earthrise, where it's a picture of the Earth coming up over the moon. And they were talking about who are the two of the astronauts they won't say which one of them took it, but each one claims they were the one that took it. You know, so they won't really. Yeah, it's become one of the most viewed images ever of that. But they did spend some time talking about the photography aspect and capturing the images, and it's just amazing what they did with virtually nothing.
Apparently, when you take a picture in space, it's really sharp, crystal clear.
Yeah, there's no dust or anything in the atmosphere.
There's no haze. Yeah, it's good. That's why they look so good. Those pictures.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's how we improve our pictures. Just get up in space.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's I'd be interested. Hopefully, the Hasselblad is in good shape, Dennis, and you have another one to add to your collection. That would be neat.
Yeah, our college returns probably in the next few weeks, so I'll have to ask them about it if it's coming this way.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, there's probably so many good cameras like that they're just sitting. You know, like you said, it'd be hard to believe that they would just be sitting in an attic somewhere, but there probably are. Yeah, people that died long ago, and they were a photographer, and whoever survived had no interest in it, so they just kept everything in a box and put the box in the attic or in the basement, and didn't.
Well, you know yourself, Mark, when you start looking at the film cameras now, the prices are rocketing. All those bargains seem to be disappearing into the distant past.
Yeah.
Because I looked at Contax 645.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's really expensive. It's dearer than a Hasselblad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Context is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I know it was expensive before, but yeah.
It's rare is the problem, I think.
Yeah, it's a very good camera though.
Yeah, they made amazing cameras.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll just let's see what we got. Yeah, that is okay. Now I'm looking at 35 millimeters. It looks like. Contax 137 quartz 35 millimeter camera body for $12. It's a Contax, it says.
I don't think that's it.
Probably not. But yeah, no, they're they are going up by quite a bit. I have noticed that. And I haven't been actively looking for just kind of casually going through and looking at sites. Yeah, the price has gone up. Oh, okay. Here's a 645. Yeah, on KEH for $12.59. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just the body in excellent plus. So lens not included, it says. By the viewfinder, the lens strap is $100. Lenses is a 45 to 90 zoom lens, $100. 140, yeah. So those were a few years ago, weren't those? Those are like $700 to $800 maybe back a couple years ago, 2 to 3 years ago maybe. I seem to remember, I'm thinking they were kind of expensive back then, but now, hey, it's only $111 a month with the financing option. It's not bad.
There you go.
yeah, it's fun to kind of go through these like KEH and stuff and look at stuff. But man,
yeah,
you see so much stuff that
you don't get any large format game cheap, do you, Mark?
No. That's I'm gonna start the search in earnest for a new lens to get sometime next spring, I think. But I haven't decided whether I want to get a wide angle or a little bit more of a telephoto. I'm thinking probably a wide angle, like a 90 millimeter or something like that.
Yeah, you do the landscape, so I'd go for a 90 mil.
Yeah. The problem is the prices are pretty, anywhere from, depending on which one, it seems like between $200 and $600, depending.
Yeah. If you get the top of the range ones, they jump in price. I looked at a Rodenstock, I think it was, or it might have been a Nikon. It was 90 mil 6.8. It wasn't as fast. If you try and get yourself a 5.6, they were loads of money.
Yeah, but when would you wouldn't really need a 5.6? I wouldn't think, not too much.
Well, no, it just makes focusing easier because it's a lot more light coming in. But it's only one stop really. I've seen a 6.8 for about £200, so it's going to be the same in dollars, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm gonna start the search for that here this fall, and see if I can pick something up by first part of next year. That'll be the next thing. But yeah, I have beyond that. I think the one body I have is fine. And actually, I've been very happy with just the one lens, the 135. I mean, it seems to fit, pretty good all-around lens. So I've been real happy with that choice.
Yeah. I've got a Rodenstock 240 on mine, which I think is the better lens because I've got a 150, but it's an old one. It's an old 150. I think the Rodenstock is coated, so it's a bit more modern. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 240 would be basically an 80 millimeter or so.
Yeah. It's not too bad. It's I don't know if I'd use a 300 mil unless you want to do portraits, isn't it? Because that's going to be like 100 mil.
Yeah. I could see maybe doing like a 200 to 240, but if I were to get just have two lenses, I think I would keep what I have and get a wide angle, so like a 90 millimeter or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that would make me happy probably 95% of the time, I would think.
Yeah, I've got a 90 mil Leica, haven't I, for my Leica camera, which if I was going to do a portrait, I'd probably use that because you wouldn't blow someone's picture up the size of a wall, really, would you?
Probably not. No, not unless you're going to sell it to an advertising agency or something. Yeah. But yeah, that would be So I think a 90 millimeter is probably going to be the next lens for my large format camera.
Super resolution on a 4x5. So.
Yeah. I've had no issue with the resolution on any. If the resolution is off, it's because of this guy here, not the camera.
That's it. You get the focus right.
Yeah, it's my fault. If it's not sharp and tons of resolution, it's my fault. It's not the camera's or the lens's fault. That's for sure. So, although it would be nice to blame it on the camera.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any fears in the near future of a large format digital camera coming out and making all our cameras worthless.
No, probably not. I could see.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see in our lifetimes, in the next 10 to 15, 20 years, maybe. But I don't see anything coming out in the next five years, at least.
Yeah.
It's taken long enough to get medium format, what I call fake medium format, because it's not a true medium format size, but it's bigger than 35 millimeter.
Yeah, it's not. To get a 6 centimeter square sensor, if they cost 25 grand now, what are they going to cost? It's going to be phenomenal money.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'm sure they can make them, and somebody can afford it, but that's nowhere close to a range that any number other than a few select people can actually justify and or afford.
Yeah, if you're making your living doing portraits, then obviously you can have yourself a nice medium format digital camera.
Yeah, but outside of that, and you've got to be making a good living doing it too.
Yeah, you start spending 50 grand on a camera.
And here, I don't know what scientific labs need a full medium. Probably not. I would think it would be for maybe like product photography, that type of thing would be where a true medium format digital would make sense, or portrait or that type of thing. But even then, how much detail do you really need in a portrait? I mean,
that's it. Because I said to Joe when he was doing his models, softening the skin, he's making them look superb, like they got baby skin. Whereas if I said, do you want to put up just put up the raw and let us have a look at what it was really like, you know?
Oh, you never see those. Yeah, and no portrait photographer.
Yeah, can you imagine the state of the model if you're using a medium format, sharpest lens you can get?
All that means is you're going to spend exponentially more time in post, making it, quote unquote acceptable for publication, because every image you see in a fashion magazine, and I mean they're beautiful women, but they're not near, there's no way they're as perfect as what the image is. So they just,
if you look back through the old medium format cameras they used to use, you can actually buy soft focus lenses.
Yep.
Yeah.
For that exact reason.
Just for that exact purpose, because they're not going to like it if you're going to turn out some high resolution pinch photograph.
Well, that's the issue with television. News anchors and personalities and stuff with the high def cameras, and they don't look near as good as they did back in low def days.
That's true.
all the flaws and everything stand out that much more.
You see the beautiful model and her legs look like a road map. Yeah.
Yep. You're like, oh, okay. I don't want to see that image until it's gone through the retouching lab, please. Yeah. Speaking of, let's jump into the images here, because nobody's really, Simi's posted a few, it looks like, which is good. But he always posts. I mean, he always has images. He's always out there shooting. That's the, let's go in here. Oh, try that again. There we go. Hopefully everybody can see that. St. Michael's. Okay, so this was from Michael last week, I guess, yeah, in Munich with, I guess he was in, here's the Hofbrau house. Speaking of, I saw a case of Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer in the beer store, which is the first time I'd seen that, a case of it in the beer store. So somebody must be brewing it here in the States, I think. Probably contract brewing. But I saw that image from last week, and that reminded me of seeing that in the store. Oh, we're looking at this one. I guess we did last week, but no, I guess I was going to say that's Greek, Roman numerals, but no, it isn't. Okay. So much detail in those things. And like you said last week, Dennis, going to Europe would be, I could spend a lifetime there with a large format camera.
Yeah. Yeah, those kind of architectures screaming out for a large format camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and so does this.
Yes, yeah, true. Yeah. But we've tried to get Simi to buy one, but he's not having it.
No, he's not falling for our trick. This is interesting. The light on from here to eternity. The rock here. That's really. I wonder if he did anything in maybe lighten it up or something, because it's almost like someone's just shining just a light right on that one rock, because it's so different.
Or he was eating powdered donuts.
Yeah,
it's true. the donut holes.
Yeah.
Clean up after yourself, Simi. So
Simi's lucky. He's got such brilliant scenery for doing all these landscapes.
Oh, he's in a great part of the country. I mean, seascapes are, and this part of the U.S. the coastline has its rocks and all this stuff, which is, I think, more interesting than just the smooth sand beaches that you have, like you have in Florida. I mean, they're beautiful, but there's so much variety in the rugged coastlines.
Right. Yeah, they're beautiful to be at, but they're not necessarily photogenic.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and he's got the waterfalls, Mark, in the forest. You know.
Yep. No, this is nice, and he's got okay. He's getting back up there. It's in 147 groups and 209 seconds.
Yeah, this is why he's not on, Mark. He's actually at this moment putting them in posting groups. Yeah,
posting it to groups. Wow, 200 seconds, and it's probably using his ND filter, I would think. Yeah, that's neat. I like to
get that kind of speed.
Yeah, that's neat. The colors are great. Yeah, another great image.
It does give good effect using those NDs.
Oh yeah, especially for water. I mean, it's perfect combination. It is. No, I think we low tide at Lighthouse Point. No, low tide. So I'm thinking we've seen this lighthouse before, but maybe from up here.
Yeah, I think he's just a different angle.
And this is okay. Yeah, so this is during low tide and maybe an extremely low tide. But that's neat.
Didn't he say he always done it from this side because there was some buildings around the other side?
Yes, if this is that same lighthouse, there's a meeting hall or some kind of venue.
Telecommunications tower next to that.
Yeah, it might be. And I think one of them has a building that they use for wedding receptions and that type of thing too. Okay, so only 8 seconds, but 125 groups. So, and I think he could put together an awesome coffee table book of the Connecticut coastline. Connecticut coastline coffee table book. That would be that's just amazing. He's got such great landscapes in front of him there. That's great. Oh, it's nice. Inferno Bay. Very nice. The colors in this colors in the clouds are fantastic. Three-dimensional clouds almost.
Does he not have some easy way to put these on the groups? Because there's no way I could get any of my photos. I couldn't put them in 46 groups.
I don't think there's an easy way. I think it's just drink a glass of wine or beer and click away.
Yeah, away you go. Yeah.
There were so he said this happened about an hour. Downpour. Okay, before the shot. Breaking the storm. Location was not my primary spot to shoot the sunset, but when I arrived, there were fences up and signs to say "Stay out," and a giant crane next to the pier. Well, that makes that's perfect for sunset. Giant crane next to a pier. I wanted to shoot that night. I can only assume that either repairing it or tearing it down. Only 15 minutes away, so that's where I went. No disappointments, no regrets. I would say so.
Yeah. Now, I was looking at his views there. It's 1,800 views. Last week, that one I put on last week, Mark. I just couldn't work out why I got over 4,000 views on it. It's only been on a few days. So, was it featured? I've got no idea. I just couldn't believe the amount of views it had.
Yeah, let's go back.
That was on the front page for a bit or something.
Yeah, that was this one, right? Yeah, the London one. Yeah, no, it must have been on the homepage or hit for a while. Because that was a very unique take. I mean, it's one of those places that there's probably been a million images
It is, yeah. If you call up the Albert Memorial on Flickr, you'll just have pages and pages of the actual memorial one. Yeah, I thought I'd do something different.
Yeah, no, that it worked.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Because I mean, you just put this up last week. I mean, you put this up last weekend.
You got over 4,000 views in 2 days.
Yeah. It must have been featured or hit the homepage or something like that. Yeah. That's cool. Well, that just proves that you take a scene that everybody's photographed and you do it different or process it differently. And it's got it's like a post-up. It's got just a really interesting vibe to the image, with the clouds and.
I was well pleased when I inverted the sky because I thought, oh, that really looks like Dante's Inferno.
Yep. That's like the apocalypse is coming or something. Yeah, it's just got a very, very unique take on it. Yeah, it is weird, and some of them hit the front page, and as they do, they get a ton of views very quickly.
Yeah, but
it's got the same colors in it. It's got the same colors in it.
Well, Cindy's had a few of those, hasn't he? Where they got phenomenal amounts. So didn't he have something like 20-odd thousand?
Yeah, he's had a couple where he's been over 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't know what you have to do to get that.
Yeah, well, it's hit the front page at the right time too, because different times of the day when there's more people looking at it who will share it and that type of thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that, Mark. If you put them on at the wrong time of the day, that's it. They're just a few views. Then once they're off the pages, they go into infinity. You never see them again. Yeah.
They've got a few minutes for them to get somebody's attention. It seems like. Ooh,
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. That almost looks. Wow, it's like a giant falcon or something coming at you. That is. Was taken from trying to decide whether the sun pictured in the frame looked better on the left or the right. While deciding and seeing both images side by side, what if I combined both? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he split his mirror image, isn't it?
Yep, it is a mirror image.
He's just trying to get in competition with Joe's nuclear explosions.
Yep. That's an interesting take, but he's got the sun down the middle. Yeah, that's a neat interpretation of that.
It's worked well, hasn't it? He's done that well.
Yep, that's neat. That's a neat. It's very interesting. Good work, Simi, as always. Hope you can join the show here soon. I'm sure probably work or something else has been interfering, which is completely understandable because we all like to think there's nothing more important than photography, but unfortunately there is.
Have you heard anything from Frank, Mark?
No, I haven't. I'll send him a message. I was going to do that a couple weeks ago and got distracted, so I'll send him a message. He generally pops in the winter, fall and winter. So this should be about the time he starts showing up. I'll send him a message because, he hasn't been on the show really since maybe March.
Yeah,
March. Yeah, it's been quite a while. So that would be nice to get Frank back. I know I think he started a new job or something. So yeah, it's just things. Life gets in the way sometimes. And
I know he said he was trying to downsize his camera, wasn't it? Because he had a back problem, so he didn't want to carry all the weight around with him.
Yeah, and it was not necessarily the cameras, the lenses that went on the camera that made him so heavy. But that was a pretty hefty kit, because that camera is that's 3 years old or so. So I got to imagine that was a few pounds for the camera itself, and then the lenses are at least as much, if not more. And with it hanging, I wonder if you could get a different strap, one that kind of distributes the weight, over your whole torso and not just your neck. That might be an option too.
Yeah, I see a guy today taking pictures of the steam trains, and he had a Nikon camera with one of the white lenses on, the big telephotos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know if he had a battery pack on the bottom as well, but I mean, the thing looked like a ton of bricks.
And how was he carrying it? Did he just have a neck strap, or did he have a sling strap, or how was he?
He had a sling strap across him, right, and he was carrying this massive camera around. And I thought to myself, well, it's the same size sensor as what I've got in my little A7, but with that lens, it was ridiculous. I would not want to carry that around all day.
No, it's you see the sports photographers that have two bodies, and then if they're lucky enough to have an assistant, then the assistant is the one that has all the lenses. Right. But if they don't, I mean, you see guys with two lenses, I mean, they're carrying around 30, 40 pounds of gear, and that's tough work. Now, for you, Wes, how much have you weighed your camera with the 600 millimeter lens? Any idea what that actually weighs when it's?
Yeah, it's right about 10 pounds.
10 pounds. That's like carrying a bucket of water around with you.
Yeah, a couple gallons of water.
Yeah,
gallon and a half of water.
Yeah. So do you?
It's not like.
Do you have a sling strap, or how do you?
Yeah, I use a sling strap, and it's attached to the lens itself.
Oh, okay.
It's attached to the foot of the lens, kind of thing, and it kind of helps balance it a bit. And I just have to put my hand on it to kind of keep it from swinging too much.
Okay, all right. And then you use a monopod. Is that what you've been?
I rarely use a monopod just because if you're trying to shoot birds and stuff, it just gets in the way.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess with the image stabilization, if you're using a fast enough shutter speed, you can get you can get close enough and still have the mobility to actually be able to have a chance of getting the shot, because the birds aren't sitting still.
I can see why the press went to 35mm cameras, because when you look at the old films, they're standing there with the 4x5s and the medium format. They were still really big cameras to try and get publicity shots with.
Oh yeah, and they found. I mean, I think really the 35mm came about as just a way to portability. I mean, that was exactly the reason they figured that they would give up the ultimate resolution by going with the smaller negative, but they could get more shots faster, and it was much more portable. Much more portable.
Let's face it, what's gonna end up in a newspaper is not going to be any kind of large photograph.
No, it's going to be the capturing the moment, which is something that generally requires being able to move quick and get a few shots of the scene and hope that one of them is right. That's generally the mode that they try to get. Just find something, you got to do it instantly, get a few shots, and hope that one of them comes out the way you want it to come out. There would be no way you could get a shot like that, even with someone that was really fast on one of those press cameras. I mean, I don't imagine how many shots a minute you could get with that. You'd have to have multiple film backs. You might be able to get 8 or 10, maybe, if you were really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whereas even a manual wind 35mm, you could probably get 15 or 20 if you were really proficient at doing it.
Those guys in the past who had the press cameras with the flash bulb on the top. Yeah, I mean, their top speed was about 500th of a second. I mean, they're not getting anything at all. Yeah.
Well, that's why almost every shot was flash, and it had to be close up. Yeah, that would be the only way they could get to overcome the limitations of the camera. You just do everything with a flash. But yeah, you imagine being a crime scene or police photographer back in the day with one of those cameras, going up and doing the crime scene and that type of thing. That would be quite interesting to try to capture that kind of stuff. I was watching when the power was out. I couldn't watch cable because cable was out. So when power was up, but cable was still out, I had the DVD player, which I still have. And I had the film Bullet. Have you guys ever seen that? The Steve McQueen?
Oh, yeah. The car in Los Angeles.
The cars. The San Francisco, with one of the best car chase scenes ever.
Yeah.
And but that was kind of that gritty police kind of drama, and they had one of the crime scenes, and they had the photographers out there. And I was like, wow, imagine doing that with it's so much easier now with digital for that kind of photography.
Didn't Steve McQueen actually do that driving?
Yep, that was the thing that was unique about that movie, was that he did the driving, and that was actual speed, not increased film speed to give the illusion of speed. They actually did it at the real speed.
Because that car was just leaving the ground, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, going down the hills of San Francisco, each hill, jumping, and they were doing it at real speed. So they were using the speed of the car to give the speed of the scene, not the speed of the camera with a slower moving car. And yeah, I would just, as a guy that likes cars and that type of thing, just imagine driving those things that fast, cornering on probably bias ply tires. I wouldn't even imagine they were radials. They were probably bias ply tires, skinny tires, and talk about some driving skills. I mean, because that was an incredible. But yeah, I hadn't watched that in about 4 or 5 years. And I'm like, yeah, that would be a really good movie. And the cinematography on that was excellent. I mean, that's actually, I think that's one of the best movies. Well, not ever, but it's up there. I mean, just the way they filmed it, and I've seen it now probably 8 or 10 times, but I hadn't watched it in a few years. And every time I watch it, I see something new in the way they produced it and filmed it. There's always some extra detail there in the way they did the shots and that type of thing. So very interesting.
Have you been to your photo lab recently?
No, I have not. I'm hoping to go next Saturday to scan in the stuff that I developed. And I sent an email to one of the guys. I did that this week, saying, hey, I need to really, if I can, get some time with somebody that knows what the heck they're doing in the lab, in the dark room, and just shadow you. And I would really, appreciate it if somebody could, just while they're in there, let me tag along and kind of take notes, because I want to do that this fall. I mean, we're getting to that time of year. Things are slowing down a little bit as far as like outdoor activities and that type of thing. So November, December would be a good time to get some of that stuff done.
Yeah, the nights are closing in now. It's getting dark really early now. It's probably getting dark at 7 o'clock here.
Yeah. We're still going to about 8. Well, we're on the western edge of the time zone, so we get it stays light a little bit later. But yeah, we're still about 8 o'clock, but the temperatures are still nice, and it's really tough for me to spend much time inside when I have free time. I tend to, if I can, I'm outside doing something. So. Yeah. But that'll change here in the next month or so. Usually by Halloween, it's pretty. We're at the end of daylight saving time, and temperature tends to drop. It gets dark earlier, and just good time to start doing more indoor stuff. So
our temperature's dropped here at the moment. It's going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're still having pretty warm temperatures, probably for the next month or so. And then it'll cool off, but it never really gets cold here in West too. I mean, maybe you think it gets cold in February there in West, but it doesn't get cold. Not like Dennis. Hey, cold.
No, I think Simmy's the one that gets the real cold.
Yeah, he does, and Joe gets. We're cold compared to Joe, and then you and Simmy are cold compared to us. So different levels of it, but yeah, I mean, we're coming into winter, and I really need to now that I've got enough images and some good ones, I think it's time high time that I get in and actually learn how to print in the darkroom.
Yeah, well, if your negatives turned out okay, you can print them up and see what kind of resolution you can get on a piece of photographic paper.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully here in the next month or two. Now, it's another show, and you haven't asked a question yet, Dennis. So go ahead.
Yeah, I thought I better ask before we log off. Yeah, have you done it? Have you done it, Wiz?
I'm sorry, Dennis. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be a surprise when he does.
Yeah, he's just going to log it. He's going to put it on, and it's gone. Yeah, well, I've done it.
Yeah, here it is. The last, and just call it the last frame.
Yeah.
It's going to be there.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, Mark. You did say you were saving it for the next eclipse.
Yeah. It's only 7 years away. It'll be here before we know it. All right, guys. Hey, good show. Appreciate you guys, both you guys showing up as always. Have a fantastic week coming up. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll finally be able to get caught up with all the work I missed for a couple days when the power was out. But the weather should be good, and I'll get out to the lab here this next weekend for sure. And I don't know if I'll get out with a camera or not, but maybe. And you guys gonna do any photography this week? Any plans you know of coming up?
Yeah,
or anything?
I wanted to try and use up some of my film. I've got so much film stacked up, and I've got chemicals made up now, so I should make an extra effort. Yeah.
Okay, so did you make up the slide film or the color? You did the C41 chemicals,
the C41. Right? Yeah, it's it should last, but we'll see.
Yeah. You probably don't want to push it. The sooner the better, I guess, on using those chemicals.
Yeah, 2 rolls have gone through, so but I've got quite a bit of C41 film laying around.
Yeah, and you've only got a few months before you get into the doldrums of winter, right? So
right, yeah. So using E6 color film on grey skies is not a good idea.
No, it's not the preferred method. That's for sure. So okay, well, hopefully get out with the camera here this week. I'm hoping to. I don't know if it'll be this week, but maybe next week, just depending how the schedule shakes out. And Wes, hopefully you can get out. Yeah, get some stuff. I was thinking about you yesterday. They had the home game. Do you ever go to like pregame tailgating? And is it
no? Well, I did
photographically worthwhile.
One year we did like a photo walk before the game, and I felt awkward taking pictures of people.
Okay, all right.
They were just hanging out, drinking beer and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of showed the tailgating and all the people hanging out, getting their picture around the giant Freddy the Gator or whatever that thing is in front of the stadium. And like,
I do want to try and do a drone shot once when there's a game going on.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be neat. Yeah, I wonder.
So I need to plan that.
If there's restrictions on it.
Shouldn't be. I mean, I can't fly on campus, but I can fly across the street.
Yeah, that's true, and it's not that far away. I mean, it's only really a couple blocks away, isn't it? Across the street.
Yeah, have you seen the drones that the authorities are using now? If you're flying near an airfield, they've got a drone that goes up and fires a net over your drone, and then parachutes it down to the ground.
Yeah, that's. It's crazy. I mean, I wasn't aware, like we were talking last week, when we were up visiting our friends. There's a friend of our friend who is real big into drone photography, and he's like, oh yeah, they've got a built-in code in the drones to prevent them from going up above 400 feet in certain areas. And he said, I just changed the code. He says, only a couple lines of code. I was able to go in and change it.
Yeah,
but
there's one on YouTube. The guy's flying his drone near an airfield. You can see the planes in the background, and they've actually sent one of these drones up, and it fires this massive net over the top.
Nice.
It's like snares it, and then it parachuted down onto the field. Yeah, and these are not available for the general public.
Well, I don't know. They say they're not available, but somebody will figure out how to get them. I'm sure.
You could probably build one. Do what you were doing.
Yeah. You could reverse engineer it based off of YouTube. Figure out what they were doing. Yeah, it's not that hard. I'm sure. Well, if you're motivated and technically inclined, you could probably figure out how to do it. So, yeah, it's amazing. All those things people do to try to keep us from using our drones. I don't know.
It's only a matter of time, Mark, before someone kidnaps your drone
and holds it hostage. Yep.
Yeah.
I've got all the data on your drone, and if you ever want to see your drone alive again, you've got to pay. I'm sure it's probably happened. somebody doing using a drone to image something that they shouldn't be imaging, and someone absconds with it and takes the information.
I watched a few of these. Someone was flying a drone near a military base, and they've actually got electronic rifles that they aim at the drone, and it disrupts all the electronics and just drops to the ground.
It's like an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, basically. Yeah. Well, it's amazing how much it's only been a few years that the drones have been an issue. Really, just 3 or 4 years, and how much they've technology and resources they've put in play to deal with it. Everything from putting altitude limiting code into chips to drones that shoot nets and electro-pulse rifles.
Yeah, I just think it's a matter of time. If you take your drone down to some military base, Wes, and fly it around and see what happens.
Yeah, you'll see a small explosion in the air and you'll be like, oh, that's the end of my drone.
Video signal lost.
Yeah.
Yes. Try again later.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, good show as always. Appreciate it. Yep. Have a good week. And show 208 next Sunday. We'll see you then.
Cheers.
All right. Take care, guys. All right. Bye.